Hey guys, so this week we have another Copic illustration, and this was another one that I had originally planned to be an Inktober drawing, but decided to color it instead. So the idea behind this is just very simply that the character in the middle, which is my OC Ace, has never really dressed up before, and there is an occasion where she kind of needs to be, and so the two characters behind her dress her up, and she's just kind of there, I guess you could say, shocked at how she looks. So that's basically it. So I don't want to be too Debbie Downer in this commentary or anything, but I will say that I'm not very happy with how this drawing came out. I'm not upset about it or anything. It's just sort of well, that didn't go how I wanted. Moving on. So yeah, I think it mostly has to do with lighting. I think that my knowledge of lighting is kind of limited, and that's kind of why it didn't really turn out how I wanted. Lighting is something I could really afford to put more focus and practice and time and effort into. I would actually probably say that it's my weakest point. Right next to perspective, probably. Those two things are something that I really need to work on. Yeah, what I kind of should have done, and again, this comes down to knowledge, so I don't even know how I would have done this, but she should have been a little more, she should have been the brightest and most thing with the most contrast, and then the two characters behind her be a little bit darker than that, and then have the background be darkest. And this kind of came from a small critique that I got on my Circus Goddess piece, where someone pointed out that it would have been better if I had made the glow of the moon a little bit darker, that it would still stand out as a glow, but would still be in the background. And that kind of stuck with me, or at least it struck me that that's kind of what I should have done here. But again, I'm actually not even sure how I would have done it. And that's kind of the frustrating thing, is whenever it's not even just that you didn't make the right choice, or that you had a better idea after. It's just that I kind of don't know how to pull off what was in my mind at all. So that's definitely its own frustration, but it definitely gives me a lead on what I should be working on whenever you have a realization like that. Another thing was doing the reflections in the mirror, because there's 3 mirrors, right? And they're each going in different directions, so the one would be showing this side of the room, and the other one would be showing that side of the room, and it was very hard for me to wrap my head around it. And so I don't even think it's even really correct at all. So yeah, I don't know, it was really confusing for me to do, so yeah. I had I still do. I have plans to kind of make an end of the year video, kind of talking about things that I maybe have done, like, not necessarily wrong, but things that I should have done this year, and things that I will, like, do next year on how, like, to improve, and things I want to improve on, and just kind of, like, just general goals and things I wish to achieve and things like that. Hopefully that won't hopefully that doesn't sound too boring, but maybe, like, there's some people who are either going through maybe some of the same things, or you are kind of having, like, the same, not doubts, but, like, kind of the similar problems to maybe what I've been having, or maybe even just kind of, like, ideas or things to think about in terms of your own improvement. But something I want to bring up here, and this has been something that's bothering me over the last couple weeks, and that is I realized that I've been using my Copics the same way for quite a while now. Like, my technique hasn't really changed much at all, and it's kind of gotten to a point where I actually don't know how to use them any differently. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but whenever I thought about, like, doing something a little bit differently with them, I'm like, but how would I even do that? Because I'm just sort of used to using my Copics the way I use them. And yeah, this is why you really should never stop experimenting, even whenever you feel like you found something that you're pretty happy with. But what I was kind of thinking of doing would maybe be something like how Mira Byler did a Copic challenge. Like, she did a Copic drawing every day for a week, and she called it Copic Week. I don't know if I would actually be able to handle doing a drawing a week, or a drawing a day for a week. That sounds pretty intense, unless it would have to be pretty simple. I mean, I can barely handle, like, doing an ink drawing every day for 30 days, and those are usually a little bit more quick than I think a Copic drawing would be, unless it was pretty simple. But yeah, I do want to kind of create something that would force me to just experiment and do different things with my Copics more, and different techniques. And I'll probably try to look at other artists who use Copics to try to get, like, ideas for how to just kind of change things up, because I've been feeling quite bored with my work lately, and it's just made me incredibly restless and a little bit unmotivated too, because I'm like, I feel like I'm doing too much of the same thing, and the processes are just so similar that I'm starting to get a little bit bored. So yeah, there's that. Like I said, I don't really quite like how this turned out, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. And let me know if you think that the end of the year sort of recap kind of video sounds like a good idea. And yeah, let me know if you enjoyed it, and like, comment, and subscribe if you liked it. And I will see you all next week. Bye!